I tell you, Joe, it feels good to be back at home and just like Homestead here, a lot of these guys seem like they're right at home.
Oh, yeah. Right now, old Scott Simley up top. Got old Ross Tatum there along with him with Zach Fowdy. Maybe Simley can hold off. He had a good finish there in the Truck Series this past Monday. So, trying to turn it around there. Turning around here in the ARCA. Get everybody out there, man. What's going on, VS? How are you? No, we're getting set here tonight. I enjoy, Austin, I enjoy these ARCA cars, man. I tell you, I don't know. The ARCA cars are just, I guess the good word to use is fun to drive.
Yeah, I couldn't drive one of these if I wanted to, but these cars, they do they're a lot of fun to drive. And I tell you what, some of these paint schemes these guys got on tonight, looking good.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you say that, but realistically, I mean, the ARCA car is really the entry level car to NASCAR. And other than going on down to your, other series, but if you're looking at the NASCAR frame series, it all starts with ARCA. Yes, there's lower tiers like you have, modifieds and late models and stuff like that, but it starts really with ARCA. Then you got your truck, then you got Xfinity, then obviously your Cup is the top end. So the ARCA is kind of that bread and butter to get into racing as in NASCAR racing as general. Getting set here to grid this thing up here tonight. So with that said, and when I go back to easier to drive, it is meant to be that way, because that way, inside here and obviously get your foot in the door basically inside of NASCAR and hopefully get a ride and get on up through the ranks here. But like Scott Simley hanging on tonight for the pole. Ross Tatum there in second. Zach Fowdy starting third. We got old Seth Fowdy starting up there in fourth. Won it last night in an awesome fashion. They're in the Elite Series. Mike Kelly up there in fifth. We got Crank Bell sitting sixth. Austin Coop, he won last week, sitting in seventh. Abram Ghost there in eighth. Bradley Murphy looking for a good night here there in ninth. Caleb Smith in 10th. David Persisk in 11th. J.D. Daniels, he's starting up there in the 12th place spot. Old Joshua Altus, he's hoping he doesn't have any more trouble, man. He had some trouble this past week there in the truck. Daniel Miller sitting there in the 15th place spot. Dustin Martin 16th. Wayne Chapman 17th. We got Jamie LaRock sitting there in the 15th. Damian Pacheco sitting in the 19th. 20th is Danny White. 21st, Cam Patterson. 22nd, Steve Gerber. Joe Spinelli there in 23rd. Gabriel Lorenz sitting there in 24th. Joshua Gillian 25th and 26th. We got old Steve Ritter out here tonight. So, again, solid, good-looking field here, too. And, saw last night here, Austin, the Xfinity car, and I know the Xfinity car has way more horsepower than this one here and is a heck of a lot more driver-style car, but it was really planted. So that's kind of what I'm going to see with this car here tonight. It's a lower horsepower, high downforce style car. So these guys are going to have probably a lot of a grip here tonight.
Yeah, it's looking juiced up here. I wonder if our pole leader's going to charge or take it easy.
Well, Seth Fowdy last night charged pretty well here at Homestead, so we'll have to see how it is as pace cars in. We're going green here tonight.
Green flag.
As we're racing Homestead, man, Simley and company up front to get a good start between each other. Ross Tatum. I expect to see a little more maybe side-by-side racing with these cars due to the fact of the more high downforce as opposed to last night where they were able to get more single file. These cars here right now and already into the wall hard in the back.
The yellow flag is out.
Wow.
We got them going around. Holy cow, Joe.
That's a big one. They're scattered.
First lap, 14 cars done.
I know, man. Let's go back and try to cipher what happened here. We saw Crank Bell smack the wall hard.
Whoa.
So we're on the start. Try to get everything you can. Like I said, you're going to probably be stacked up. Looks like the two got tight right there in the middle. Mike Kelly, he got really tight. And then he lost it loose. Okay. And then Crank Bell just was right there, nowhere to go. And then just a chain reaction from that point. Let's see who else was involved in it.
Oh, and he I thought they spun in front of traffic. That looks crazy how it just came out from under him there.
Yeah, I mean, and that kind of almost looked like one of those aero style things. Where the 43 tried to woe up. He couldn't get woed up. Got hit in the back by there's a 64. Let's see who else was involved in this thing here. Joshua Altus. Oh man, just in the back part here, you see him in that 94. It's just an accordion effect. It's just one of them racing deals. And he almost had it cleared. The 92 right there. Boom, boom.
That's a heartbreak.
Yeah, that's just what you think, man. I got everything cleared. Next thing you know, car right in front of you. So. Really, just it started up there with Mike Kelly, or the 02.
It did.
Go back and watch that again. Get back on him. Yeah, right here.
I think the red, white, and blue too, Joe.
Yeah, you might be right. It might not be Mike Kelly. It might be the other two. Yeah, the 02 up there. Yeah, right there in front of him. Not showing up as my calls. Abraham Ghost, maybe. There's the 2, but it's...
I think you're right on the 02. Because if you notice, I noticed that on that restart that the 7 got into the back of the 91. It was very interesting on that restart.
Yeah, that looked like an arrow loose deal thing right there. You just saw him get a little bit loose, but yeah, just unfortunate. Pit road. He must have a custom number, and that's why. Oh, Zach Foudy. Okay. All right, let's go back here and watch. Zach Foudy was it. He got a good start. Nothing wrong there. Obviously, new tires. You're going to be cold tires. The car's going to be a little bit, unsettled right now. But you see him get tight right there. He had to catch the car. And probably what happened when he got right back on the throttle, he almost wanted to snap loose, and then he overcorrected a little bit, and then right into the wall there in Austin. It's just, there's not a lot you can do. It was a good save on his end. The only problem is the other cars are right there, and he ricocheted off the wall. Just unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't know if cold tires had a factor with that, but it definitely was unfortunate, and it collected a lot of good cars.
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, I mean, being on the start, definitely. And that's the thing. Even with as much downforce as this car's got, a cold tire's still going to affect it. You still got to be kind of easy. And you saw right there, like I said, the car started to go up the track, which means it probably started to get a little tight, and he had to chase it. And then it looked like what happened was he got back on the throttle, and it overcorrected just a little bit and snapped it loose. So, hey, one of them racing deals, man. But we're getting set to go back green here tonight. It's unfortunate. And, when I say unfortunate, it's racing too. Some other guys, just wrong place, wrong time. But here we go.
Green.
Green flag. We're back racing here tonight. Good start again. The 91 of Ross Tatum right out front there.
Yeah, I got the 7 of Seth Foudy right behind him. It looks like they're keeping a little safer pace now.
Yeah, a lot of these guys, and hey, look, it's clear. I'm not going to put anything, against them. These guys have been top notch here. That was just a case of, like I said, a characteristic of the car and the track. Product of, like I say, cold tires. Again, with this car here tonight, unlike last night, where you saw a lot of bottom style racing, you will see these guys be on the bottom, but you're going to see more side by side, almost like a draft race here tonight with these cars. And the reason that is, Austin, is there's so much downforce in this car. And the problem is you're going to get guys like that, you're going to get into the wall and because the car wants to push a lot.
Yeah, and we know netcode can make that a little dramatic, but I can imagine driving behind that, what it looks like.
Yeah, well, this track tends to be a top dominant track, but last night there was kind of multiple grooves. You could go high, you could go low, you could go kind of middle. And even with this one, you see like right there, I mean, you're seeing cars get up into the wall, and it's just because this thing is just getting so tight coming out of the turns. Not a lot they can do right there. You see, that was Dusty Martin, actually. You can see him coming out of the turn there. These things want to tend to push, and that's a big difference. You had a car last night with high power, less downforce, so you could actually kind of drive it. This car, less power, way more downforce. As you see, Austin Coop, who won last week, is already having trouble right there. Way more, less power, way more downforce, so it wants to push, and these guys are going to have to adjust. And the only way you can adjust in this is obviously throttle control.
Yeah, he's trying to Larson on that high side, but Austin Coop here. Well, I think he might have some damage to his car, though. We'll have to pay attention to it.
Yeah, you keep popping on that wall. After a while, the side man will, get smacked in a little bit. You just never know. But the car doesn't look like it's up to speed. Obviously, he won last week. Man, it's up to speed right now is Ross Tatum out front. Seth Foudy, he's got this place figured out. He dominated last night. Got that win. Mike Kelly's another one that's top notch right there. Scott Simley, that's a teammate to Mike Kelly, by the way. And good old Bradley Murphy, man. Bradley comes up here in the booth with me on Tuesdays, and sometimes, unfortunately, if he falls out of the race on Monday, he steps up here, but we don't want to see that tonight. So he's done it on Wednesday nights a couple times with me. But he needs a good turnaround in a nutshell. And he has the last couple races, or in the last race or so, he's actually been able to turn it around. He had a good race in the truck, had a good race, I think it was last night, or had a good race in the truck. And right now having a good race here in the ARCA Series. So maybe a couple bad races, now he's turning his season around.
Yeah, and shout out to him. I really enjoy his announcing, and I think coming up into the booth and then going and being able to drive the next day, I think it helps you kind of learn and just kind of just check it out and get ideas.
It does. He gives a good insight, man, on what the car was doing. And, he was talking about last night how the car, obviously Xfinity car being a little bit loose on the looser side. This car probably, I'm going to say, is going to tend to be on that tighter and then want a snap style loose, which we saw earlier. And that's just a product of this car's got way more downforce and less horsepower. We can't just emphasize that enough. This is an entry-level style car to NASCAR, and it's a fun car. I know, Austin, you said, well, I can't drive. This was one of the cars, besides the truck, that I also won in NASCAR and iRacing also. So if I can do it, man, I know you can do it.
Oh, for sure. And I'm a racer. I love to race it, and these guys are racing right now, as we see the 6 up there on the wall.
Oh, yeah, number 6 up there is J.D. Daniels. He's trying to try the high side. We saw it last night, the high side work coming off. You got a good momentum run coming off that turn on that high side. The problem is making the pass on the high side, unless you had way newer tires, was a tough thing to do. You could get a run coming off, but it still was inside dominant. Making a pass. You see there the crisscross move. Daniel's going to see if he can't get Dusty Martin. I know the Dusty Martin fans are out there. Where you at? Y'all got to be cheering high right now. Dusty's sitting up 9 spots already, sitting in 7th.
Yeah, and battling right now hard with JD there as they're throwing slide jobs back and forth.
Absolutely. And that you can kind of do that with this car because so even, so on top of each other. You got Austin Coop right behind them. Cam Patterson up 12 spots already, battling for 10th place. Might be a little bit of, some tire saving, too, here early on.
Yeah, that's what it's looking like. And I see a couple new names out in the field, too, that I'm kind of looking at.
Let me see if I see anybody out there I don't recognize. Cam Patterson might be one of them I don't recognize. Maybe Gabriel.
Daniel Miller for me, too.
Now, Daniel Miller, he does race in the trucks and the Xfinity. I'm familiar with him. So pretty much everybody else. Damian Pacheco, I'm going to say Pacheco. might be the other one. Pretty much everybody else out there races like the Monday or the Tuesday series. Now, some of these guys might only race this series and not race, everything else. We've got a battle for the lead. Seth Fowdy takes it over Ross Tatum. Here comes Mike Kelly. So that's why I might not be familiar with some of them. Like, for instance, Cam Patterson might only run this series. And this is a fairly new series. It's only the second season here, Austin, of this series. The Elite Series is starting its first season. The trucks have been here for, 24 seasons or whatnot. But and look at Ross Tatum trying to fire back on that outside.
Yeah, Ross Tatum, man. No sponsors, just getting with it on the outside.
Car, man, right there. Tatum on the outside. You got the man, the good man, right there, Fowdy. I like Fowdy. He comes up here, man, and his wife right there spotting for him. It's a good family affair. He's got Zachary Fowdy, unfortunately, who got caught up in a wreck early out there. They bring it out, and it's a good old guy out there. Mike Kelly, another one, very fast coming out there. And plus, I like the fact that he runs a Mustang, so good guy. That means he's got a good head on his shoulders.
And is that his teammate right behind him there?
That is his teammate, yes. I know he messaged me earlier and said that they had some new paint jobs, the Pennzoil, kind of a flip-flop there. One's got, well, the both Sunoco, just kind of flip-flop.
Yeah, that's pretty good looking team. Hey, they're paired up, ready to cause some havoc.
Oh yeah, I mean, I remember I remember Kelly and Simley from long back the other days from some other leagues. I know they're very, very fast cats out here. Now Simley's had more of an up and down career here at the Clean Racing League than Mike Kelly has. Kelly has had a pretty dominant, steady style career so far, making the playoffs in the trucks last season, already dominating in the trucks this season. But, Simley is starting to show what he's made out of and starting to shine just a little bit. It's taking him a little bit just to get going, but once he gets going, I think that team's going to be nonstop. And right now, tonight, you can see it. I mean, look at it. I mean, you've got right here Ross Tatum, and I think I've told you the story on Ross Tatum. This is in the truck series. This is only his fourth official season in the trucks, okay? In his first two seasons in the trucks, he won the championship. In his third season, he went to the Final Four. Lane Hostler won that one from him, though. So the man has come in here and been on top ever since he's been here in the Clean Racing League. And right now, Seth Fowdy's one of those guys, man, who is fast, gets up there, but just seems trouble sometimes, seems to find him. Except for last night, he had it figured out.
Yeah, these guys are going to battle it out, and these teammates are going to pass right by him. It looks like Kelly's ready to pounce on him.
Well, and a lot of this here, this is a momentum. I mean, I know Alta said the other night in the trucks, this is a momentum style track. I say that a lot too, Austin. I talk about momentum on tracks a lot because, you don't use a lot of brake here. You use more of the throttle. You kind of crack the throttle a lot. You got to ease back into it. You got to keep that momentum, and if you lose it, you can lose so much here, especially with this car with its less horsepower and a lot of downforce. If you start, bobble or lose a little bit, and Mike Kelly, for some reason,
is this his crazy pit strategy? You know him.
Oh, something happened.
Maybe.
Oh.
Flat tire. So it's like wobbling his car. Can you get flat tires on the skate?
Well, it'd be way too earlier for that to even happen. You would have to have something drastic to it. I mean, I've heard guys say you can, but I've never really seen it. But I don't know. Maybe he had a technical problem there. But he actually dropped down to the apron and fell all the way back to the back here, 11th place spot. Unfortunately, he's not going to go any further back than 11th, but he's still under power, still running, so I think it might have been something technical on his end that caused that, and he figured, instead of messing guys up in the front, he'd just fall back to the back and get out of the way of that battle, going on up front. Just Got to find out. There's Patsy. Say good luck, Dusty. Not quite sure. Little JD Daniels here, though, man, battling. So maybe we'll get an update on what happened to Kelly. Joshua, if you're out there listening, Joshua running? Nope, Joshua's out. If you're out there listening, Joshua, maybe you can give us an update in the chat on what exactly happened to Mike Kelly right there. Dropping off like he did. So that's the only other guy I know that's probably out of the race. Or if anybody else is out of the race, you might know. Yeah. Not sure. Oh, his screen for... Well, I thought it might have been something technical then. Okay, appreciate that, Gillian, man. Joshua Gillian out there telling us what happened to the two of Mike Kelly. Hey, Austin, we're on a virtual world. All right, there's things that you just can't control, and I've had it happen on the broadcast. You know, computer problems, Mother Nature, internet, you know, stuff like that. It's out of your control. I mean, so that's what I kind of figured happened. It looked like something weird, almost like what happened to Joshua Altus a Monday night, Austin. He all of a sudden made a hard left turn, hit the inside wall, and then kind of sit there for a long time. And usually I'm kind of critical on guys who sit in the track, just sitting. And come to find out, his whole screen went black on him.
Yeah, I've been there a couple times, and it's not fun. You feel bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, and we'll sum it up as a flat tire, because there's nothing you can do with a flat tire.
His battery went out in his car. That's what happened. His battery died.
You need that bleeder fluid.
Had to go back to the backup battery on it. That's it. Yeah.
I know. Force missing him right now.
I know, man. That's Scott Sim. That's his teammate, man, right there. And you could see these cars getting awful, just a little tight up on the top side there, getting in that wall. Look at old Austin Coop. He's been able to figure it out. Slowly but surely climb back up here. I do think by this car being a little more tighter than last night, and I'm saying tight, you know, obviously, just due to the fact of how the characteristics of this car, that the tire wear might wear a little bit. I mean, this place kind of chews tires a little bit, so I'm thinking maybe it probably might chew them a little worse.
Yeah, luckily we have a nice, cool track tonight, and nice paved track. It's not bumpy like Rockingham.
Oh no, man, Rockingham's one of them tracks that beats the dentures out.
These guys are running good.
The 38, Cam Patterson. I have not seen that name, so I'm going to say that he's just running. He's either new or he's just running this series, because I've not seen him in the truck series. Either way, having a good night there. He's up 16 spots all.
Yeah, that is a good night. I was going to say, could he be one of them fill-in drivers, but I don't know how that all works. This isn't chartered, huh? Never mind.
Not this one, Rockingham.
I'll get used to it. It's my first day, guys.
Yeah, Brett, you're right.
We got a Rockstar car.
George out there, George out there, let us know on Cam's part. Is his first race, or is this just he runs this series here? So we'll get more of an update out there on him. Right now, Daniel Miller moving up 7 spots with Dusty Martin right there behind him. And Mike Kelly has, you know, all right, here's the thing. He only fell back to 11 before he was able to get back in line and get back up. Now he looks like everything's running good, and he's been able to move back up. So hopefully he's got that problem. Hopefully it's not an iRacing problem, because, you know, like I say, Joshua Altus had issues this past Monday. This past Sunday, I did another league, and some of those guys said that iRacing was acting a little weird with them. Again, virtual world, folks, just never know, man. You know, hey, if you want to put it in realism of of how it would be in the real world. You might as well say motor problem, electrical issue on the car.
I got a snake in my boot.
Yeah, there you go. That too. I don't know if I've ever had a snake in my boot or not, though. I wouldn't. I don't know if I'd ever want to put boots on again. Yeah. Yeah.
But these guys are starting to get a little loose, I see.
Remember that song, "These boots are made for walking"? Yeah, well, by the time I get done, these boots are made for burning or running. You find some snakes, find some snakes in there. Heck no. So I got old Miller and Murphy right there in the 10th place spot. Good old Ghost man too, Abram Ghost. I always say you can't see him on the track. Got the Ghost Athletics machine. Got to appreciate him being one of the title sponsors here in the Clean Racing League here tonight. For the ARCA Series here, Clean Racing League. Go check out cleanracingleague.com. It'll get you up to speed on everything going on in the league. All 3 series, all our great sponsors. CRL Podcast, I'll get it out in a minute. Ghost Athletics. We've also, Apex Mountain Apparel, SimRacingAuthority.com, and used, obviously, in ApexMountainApparel.com and SimRacingMerch.com. Promo code CRL 2025. We got a heck of a battle here for around 10th place spot.
Yeah, they're slicing and dicing first through 12th to 15th place here, slicing and dicing. Good racing.
Okay, so he's only running this league. Okay, so he must just be running just this series because I don't remember seeing him on Monday or Tuesday, George. That's the reason I asked. It must be just he's running here on the night. Well, hey, I got to give him credit. He's up 16 spots. If he's running for a championship, he's running for some good runs. He's looking good and consistent right now, so hats off to him. Looking like a rock star.
Man, I think we're going to be seeing pit stops soon.
Look at Mike Kelly, boy, got that car figured out, and he's back on the roll, boy. Well, pit stops the last couple of nights have been in the range of around 50 to 70 laps, depending on the fuel. I'm gonna double check that real quick. So I'll tell you what the fuel. They usually run 80% fuel. So with that said, it's probably gonna put them around 60, about the 60-62 lap mark.
So we're getting there then. We're lap 38, right?
Now, I know if you looked at the comment out there, Zachary Foudy just made a post. Remember, he was the one that unfortunately had first wreck in the race. What did I say happened to that car? Got tight, snapped loose. He said the car got tight and then broke loose, and I ran out of talent. Well, he put the ran out of talent part. I didn't. But exactly what I said these cars would do. Get tight, and it looked like it did. The car got a little tight, and then it just snapped loose. Dude, maybe due to the fact of him trying to catch it a little bit, and then that thing just snapped loose on him. Got a heck of a battle back there.
Yeah, this battle here, it's been battling at every lap almost.
Absolutely. Said, get it, Wayne. Well, unfortunately, Wayne got caught up in that wreck earlier. Still got a little bit of nose damage in that 43 machine right there. So he's trying to truck along here. He's a couple laps down, back in 18th spot, but got a little time. Maybe he can, get a few spots back. All this man here, he dominated last night. Well, I don't want to say he dominated, but he did an outstanding job last night. Appreciated me and VS last night, and it was strange. Go back to, I might be telling y'all wrong information here. Give me just a second.
Seth Foudy's just hanging out front here.
Okay. Parker Collins won last night in the Elite Series. Seth Foudy had this thing almost figured out. Now, I think he finished ultimately in the top 3, I believe it was. He had the pit strategy until a late caution came out. So he had it He dominated a lot of the race. So definitely has this place figured out. Trucks is where he won at. My bad. He won in the trucks, but yeah, tonight looking strong. Tatum right behind him there was Simley. Simley had a good run in the trucks, this week. Right there along with it. Working over the Dix man right there, JD Daniels. You guys are having a good race.
Yeah, I think those two guys have been together this whole race. Look like tires hit each other.
Yeah. 4 right there along with the 6 machine. Mike Kelly back up to 5th. He's just a running missile out there right now. Wow,
Yeah,
it might be one to watch too. Yeah, I mean, for him to be on as old as tires as he is, his last lap, I mean, it's not as fast as the leader, but he is definitely coming up through the field as pit stops. I said around 60. We're at lap 64 here. Lap 60.
Yeah, it seems Cam took a different strategy. Lapper.
I'll make sure. Well, lap 45, my bad. A little earlier than I thought. That's Fowley on pit road. So I said about lap 45. Okay. All right. A little early. This gives us an idea of what they're looking at. Looks and pretty much they're looking to split this race in 2.
Yeah, as we got 4 cars that went a lap before that, we're kind of in the back of the pack. I'm interested to see how that's going to turn out for us.
Yeah, 4 tires, fuel. Man, I'm going to tell you what, Austin. This man right here, where's this? Let me find him. Parker Collins. Where's Parker? Parker ain't out here tonight. My bad. Okay. Parker Collins has got to be the master of pit road time and speed. I will say Seth Fowdy has found some. I really like this number. I've talked about this, and I wish they would talk about it in real life more. I don't know why they don't, because it's such a huge explanation on why some guys can have a faster pit stop and why some guys can have a slower one and still be ahead of the guy with a faster one. Is the total pit time, which time it takes for them to get on pit road, do their pit stop, and then get off pit road. And besides Parker Collins, Seth Fowdy tonight, just to give you an idea, Austin Coupe actually, his don't look right. Let me look at another one here. All right, there's another one. Cam Patterson. He had a 1472 pit stop. What they talk about a lot. Seth Fowdy, who just came in, had a 1487 pit stop. So you would think, okay, well, Patterson had a better pit stop. He's going to be faster. And that's their talking point on live, TV and all. Oh, yeah, he's quicker. He had a quicker pit stop. He's going to get out on pit road. He had advantage. But listen to this number. That's Cam Patterson had a 44.85 total time. Okay. Seth Fowdy had a 43.53. So all the time that Cam made up on the pit stop got wiped out somewhere on and off pit road, and Fowdy made up a huge gap difference between that, and that's why Seth Fowdy is pretty much still out front in front of him.
Yeah, is it the pit box? Is it where the pit box is located, or does he just have a better crew?
Well, but that's just it. See, it's not just that. See, that's what they harp on a lot of in real life. That's the pit stop itself. On and off pit road, it's the time that he gets on pit road, gets into his box. Obviously, it is the pit stop in itself, but it's also the time that it takes him to get off pit road. And I've talked about this, a couple times. Matter of fact, like we're unfortunately Caleb Smith. You see the little white line right there in front of Caleb's car. Those are the timing lines. Okay, they are. When we show another pit stop, I'll show you what I'm talking about. They're spread out. You can kind of see them go by. I don't know if I can get a wide view or not. If anybody's going by one right now. Everybody's on the back stretch right now. So either way, they're spread out. So what can happen is you have pit road speed. think tonight's pit road speed's 35, maybe 40. Either way, you have to be in that pit road speed by the time you hit that white line. So that means in between those boxes, if you're good enough, and if you see what I'm talking about, barely see. If you're good enough, you can actually, let's say it's 35 mile an hour on pit road. You can actually go 36, 37. As long as you get back down to 35 before you get to that white line, there you go, you're good. That's where you make up a lot of time. That and the entry on pit road. Science,
And
man.
Science. I love it, science.
These guys.
So I was saying, as you can see,
science.
Cam Patterson, I got my eye on Cam.
Yeah, right now, and obviously green flag stops, and one thing it does, unfortunately for guys like Cam, is it splits the field up. Unlike, with a caution, pit stop. With a pit stop on the green, it makes the field a little more wider. So, right now, Cam's in kind of a hole. I mean, he's got 6 seconds back from Seth. His last lap, though, he was quite a bit faster. Ran a 33.02 to a 33.1. He was 0.3 quicker, but being 6.6 seconds back, that's a tall order to overcome.
Yeah, as that leader probably, as long as he keeps it out front there, he might keep it.
Well, clean air.
This is
clean air.
Yeah, clean air. This is just it's all, everything's got to factor in to get in.
Oh yeah. Well, and that's a good point there too, Austin. You good point there, because we were talking about that the other day. And me and Altus were talking about it on the races. It's not always the fastest guy that wins, especially anymore. With the way these cars are, they're so aero dependent now. You have to have the total package to win. Obviously, like Fowdy, he's had fast cars, but he's gotten into trouble, or he's had mess ups here and there, and just can't finally put it all together. I mean, he did the other night, but you just had to put it all together. Unlike back in the day, and when I say back in the day, back in the 80s or whatnot, where those cars were just pure horsepower cars, and most of the time it was the fastest car that won, because you could overcome things on the track, you could overcome pit mistakes. Obviously, one of the most famous ones is Bill Elliott's, 2-3 laps down, winning, I think it was at Talladega, and he did it without any cautions. He got all those laps back under green and came back to win that race. So that tells you the difference. But these cars nowadays are so aero dependent, you're not going to see that anymore. Not to this day.
Yeah, and it being on iRacing too, sometimes you feel fast and you just can't put it all together. I felt fast at Daytona, and the next thing you know, I'm wrecked because I wrecked good taking that, and most of this race I raced, and I love it.
Yeah, that's plate racing for you right there. Sometimes you're in the good, sometimes you're in the bad for that stuff. But Austin Coop, he figured it out last week, got the win, and he's right now trying to run down the leader up front, a little tad faster. Found he might be saving a little bit. Who knows out front? Or Austin's found something there in the back. Ross Tatum sitting up in the third. J.D. Daniels right there in the fourth. Cam Patterson sitting back in fifth. So that's your top five, with Mike Kelly right along there in the sixth. Actually, him and Scott Simley are battling. And Simley's on a lot newer tires than what, well, not a lot, but he is on newer tires than what Kelly's sitting on. But I know those two guys are probably going to have a strategy. They're going to want to get back to them.
Yeah, as you can see, Cam Patterson's laps actually are now the same as the car out front.
Yeah.
Yeah, Seth out there in front.
So actually,
which
it's
is really interesting.
All 3 or 4 of these cars right there. Oh, what was that? Oh, old Bradley Murphy. No, that was who that was?
That broke something.
Oh, that was Gabriel. They got awful tight.
Is that the Whataburger car? Oh yeah, he broke something on that car.
No, it's Waylon Jennings.
Oh, it's the Waylon Jennings.
Yeah, that's
a country singer, ain't it?
Yeah, man. I always think of the Dukes of Hazzard, you know.
Oh yeah.
Back in the day. But old Seth Foudy. Big battle. The biggest battle, like I said, was what we was watching back here. I mean, these four machines. That's Cam Patterson right there with Scott Simley, Mike Kelly and company. See Simley going to work over Patterson for the 5th place spot. Still Cam up 17 spots. I mean, what a great night so far for him. Here's where you got to be careful. You see right there, Simley got very tight, had to get out of it, and that just killed his momentum on trying to make that pass.
Yeah, he kind of tried to run the slider line, I would call it, but he likes to run that diamond line. And it works for him, but it's just impressive how Seth Foudy can use that same set of tires the whole race.
He changed tires at 41.
Oh, he did? All right.
Yeah,
I didn't know his number. What's his basic one?
Nah, yeah, Cam right there's the one right in front of him. Foudy's way out front. He's leading.
Oh, yeah, Foudy. Did Foudy change his tires?
Oh, yeah, everybody's pitted. He pitted at lap 41. Foudy did. Coop pitted at 43.
Oh, okay.
Tatum probably was on one of the better tires. He pitted at 47. 43, and then Scott Simley pitted here about 40. So everybody's right about that number.
I see the thing here now.
The problem is here too, Austin. Is with this car having so much downforce like it does. Tires here tonight, they're not going to be a huge advantage. They will be a little bit, because you can see right here, you know, Scott Simley pitted at 48. Cam Patterson pitted at 43. So Simley has a little better tires, but you can still see just how long it takes and just what it takes to pass a guy here. He can't just go blowing right by him. He's still giving him all kinds of trouble up there to try to get around him. I mean, he eventually will make this pass as he makes it right there. But you see, it took him, several laps to get it done.
Yeah, and as his teammate follows him through there. I didn't know that there was all this information on our timer here with the pits.
Oh, yeah, man.
That's funny. I have to scroll over.
Got a world of... got the PC, that's your pit counter. Tells you how many times I pitted. Obviously, you got, your gap, which that means, the length between the two. We talk about that, interval and stuff like that. Best time, last time. A lot of that stuff there, too. I focus a lot, like I say, on the total pit time and the pit times out here, and obviously the gap a lot. And, yeah, you're going to see Kelly. He's going to make this pass. And I've said this in the past before. What kind of times does it take for a guy just to catch a guy and just go right by him with ease? You're going to have to be at least a tenth and a half. On a track like this, I'm going to say you're going to have to be close to almost 2 tenths to get it done. Because you can already see Mike Kelly is running about a tenth faster. Actually, that time he was only 600ths faster than Cam Patterson. But you also see that it took, 3-4 laps for him to finally make that pass. And that's what I'm talking about there, Austin, when I talk about what it takes to get around a guy.
Yeah, it definitely takes some patience and some teamwork, if you could see them two working together like that.
The man right now out front and dominating, that's Seth Foudy. Got it figured out so far. Austin Coop, who won last week, sitting right here in second. He's trying to slowly but surely see if he can't climb back up here and run him down. Ross Tatum's right there in third. He thinks he can't work over Coop. J.D. Daniels up in the 4th place spot with Scott Simley there in 5th.
Yeah, and behind them you got Mike Kelly and Cam Patterson still duking it out.
Bradley,
well, I don't know how much duking's going, but...
Yeah. Bradley's still having a good run here tonight. They're at 8th place spot.
Yeah, being patient and waiting to see the chaos unfold. If any chaos, remember this, they live by their name, the Clean Racing.
Only had one little incident tonight. All in all, been a good one so far here at Homestead. Got 24 to go in this one.
Yep, counting them down. And Seth Fowdy's, he's probably ready to do that victory lap and to get a cold drink.
Oh, absolutely. The man right out there right now. You know, and I said before, I call it his secret weapon out there. His wife out there doing all the spotting and pit strategies for him and whatnot. And he even mentioned it, you know, a lot of times comes up with him as that's not what he wants to see in front of him, a lap car up there hitting the wall. And don't want to get caught up in a mess. But she does a lot of the strategy stuff for him. And, you know, they might, like he said, that they might sit up here and talk about it some. But a lot of times he ends up going with what she says and don't want to see a lap car. Now, I've talked about this too here, Austin. You know, going around lap cars as a leader. Number one thing you tell lap cars is hold your line. If you're in the racing line or you're in a different line, hold your line. Don't go weaving all over the track. And you start trying to anticipate where the leader's going to be, and usually you can end up getting yourself in trouble.
Yeah, no, you just want to hold your line, and as long as you hold your line, they'll get right on by.
Absolutely. We'll say old Ross Tatum right here now has gotten around Austin Coop for that spot. J.D. McDaniel. J.D. McDaniel, that name, every time I hear it and every time I say it, I think about the wrestler J.D. on that wrestling.
J.D. Finnegan.
He's in the that was on Monday night.
Oh, I'm next.
On the
J.D. McDonough. Oh, it is McDonough.
McGunnan, yeah, J.D. McGunnan. That's it. Yeah, he wrestles. And every time I say J.D. Daniels, I think of that. I think of the wrestler.
Oh, I wonder if that's short for anything, or if it's just J.D.
Oh, Jack Daniels.
That's what I was thinking of. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you know what? That would be crazy if his name was Jack, because then he would be Jack Daniels.
Yeah, that's
that would be
that's
like, you know, if his parents was wild with the names, they could say we're going to name him Jack, and that way his whole life he can go around saying he's Jack Daniels.
Shoot, who knows? He might just be related to Daniels. So we were ticking him off here.
Right now he's up 7 spots, sitting in 5th, having a good run. Got Mike Kelly right there behind him. Tim Patterson still having an outstanding performance tonight, up 15 spots, sitting there. Daniels on pit road now.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. They went in lap 44. There's 95 laps here tonight. This might be scheduled. I mean, they went. Let's see. The furthest is the Scott Simley went in at 48. 50. Austin Pickle. So we got 58, 58, 68, 78, 98. I don't. I don't know why they would be pitting. Because in theory, they should be able to make it all the way. Because they went, even at 44 laps, Seth Fowdy went. Now, let me rephrase this. Remember, we had a caution early. So, those caution laps helped them in that 40-some lap stint. So, right now, even at 44 laps when Seth Fowdy pitted, he would have to go, 64, 74, 84, 94. He would have to go 41 laps here tonight you give or take that caution. I usually always say caution is almost like 1 to 2 laps of green flag running that you actually can make up field wise. So Bowdy's going to be right there. I'm going to say Scott Simley's probably the one sitting in the catbird seat. And Ross Tatum also, who pitted at 47. Bowdy might have to come in, and I think that's the reason why he was so slow earlier. I think he was saving a little fuel. And
yeah,
let's look right here. Let's see if he's clutching in the turns or anything like that. I mean, it doesn't look like he's there. He's pretty much solid on the throttle. Which again, there's some things you still can do. You can be easy on and off the turns with the throttle. Letting the car glide just a little bit more than what you normally would. Now, see right there. Now Ross is actually, he clutched it right there. Did you see that?
Yeah, he's actually keeping a pretty good pace at Bowdy if he's saving.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Seth Bowdy it is, but you can see Ross Tatum.
Yeah,
he's touching that clutch every once in a while. You see it. Watch him. Let's see what he goes right here again. He actually blipped it right there. Watch the RPMs. They dive down to 1200.
Yeah, he is.
He didn't that time. He did the time before.
He's losing ground.
What about Scott Simley? Simley's the one in the longest one. I don't think Simley would be up. Well, yep, right there. Look at that. He is. That's a telltale sign that you are. There's two ways to do it, Austin. Obviously, you can, if you've got a button box, you can just flick the ignition and turn the motor off, flick it right back on, or you can mash the clutch in, which is pretty much what he's doing because it's staying still running. And then, yeah, so if Simley's saving fuel, well, Foudy can make it. Now, the good thing about Foudy is he does have a 3-second almost a 4-second lead over Tatum. He could take it easy around here and save fuel other ways. So it's not like he's in danger of those guys being anywhere near close to him.
No, and their pit strategy was, if this plays out, their pit strategy was perfect.
So, I mean, Kelly, Simley, both pitted at 46 and 48. Foudy pitted at 44. Now, they're all teammates. They're all on different strategies out here, which is kind of interesting. Turn one heroes down there. I don't know if maybe they're talking and saying, hey, look, we're having to save. Foudy, I don't know if you've got enough to make it all the way. Could be communicating between those. Obviously, Simley and Kelly are out there saving. We saw Tatum save a little bit. So I'm curious as to now, which we've only got, 9 to go here. Does Foudy have enough, which, again, with his lap times, still staying on pace pretty good. I don't know. Fun to see. I think he's saving other ways. Not clutching, but again, like right here, he could let off the throttle a lot more, let that car coast. See, like right there, not get back into the throttle until late. That's other ways of saving fuel too there, Austin, is throttle management, so to speak.
Yeah, and these guys are fighting these cars, but still running good time. $85 flaps then, right? It's there. And that gap's getting bigger.
Well, I mean, it's going to get bigger if they're out here saving fuel. Oh, he's on pit
Uh-oh.
road.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
Uh-oh.
I was
He's done. He's done.
unsure. I was unsure if he could make it or not, but this right here, just unfortunate. Because
Well,
it's
no,
pretty
these
much.
cats have enough.
Well, we saw Tatum. The good thing about Tatum, he's got a 2.5 second lead over Simley. Simley's in a little better position. Well, not a lot. I mean, it's only a lap difference. So the top three pretty much are there. They're all in. You're not going to see this top three come on pit road. If they run out, they run out. They've been saving on fuel. So yeah, they're not coming in. As you can see now, Simley probably feels like he's saving enough fuel. It's go time now. He's going to see if he can't run down that 2.5 second gap. No, he's still saving a little bit. So.
Uh-oh.
Tatum's not.
I think they got about 2 more laps they're going to have to save.
Yeah, I think they're going to be okay. Tatum's not saving, but he is actually maintaining that lead. I think Ross Tatum right now, as long as if he doesn't run out of fuel, I think he's got this one in the bag. I mean, he's 2.5 seconds ahead right now of Simley. And the last lap, he was faster than Simley, but Kelly right now along with him, they're sitting in third. So, yeah, unless Tatum just runs out of fuel here, with when they cross the line, it'll be 2 to go. That's pretty much, I think, the only danger he has right now.
Uh-oh.
I hate it on Foudy's part, just being a couple laps shy. But hey, that's a clean racing league. Sometimes this race goes clean, and you can't wait. What's
Like we were talking about pit strategy and just the time, and sometimes the risk is worth the reward.
That's what these three guys up here are doing. I mean, at this point, you made your bed, you got to lay in it. That's that old saying. And none of these guys are coming on pit road. Unfortunately, Foudy coming on pit road, he knew that pretty much he's giving the race up because he's not going to be able to make up that kind of time.
That's Mike Kelly's dropping back fast.
Kelly is obviously saving. He ran at 34.18, so he's not too far off. Simley has picked it back up a little bit, but I think this time's just not going to get there as the white flag's out. Unless Tatum runs out of fuel here down the backstretch for the final time here tonight. I don't see anybody catching him. It's a 2.3 second lead. He would have to pretty much run out of fuel like right now. But out of 3 and 4 final time. In fuel saving strategy mode tonight. Definitely still had a beautiful car. Ross Tatum is going to pull this thing off here in the ARCA Series here at Homestead. What a run. He's going to win it coming across. Simley's going to be able to save. Mike Kelly's coming out of turn 4, going to save it. And look at Adrian Ghost with a good finish tonight there in 4th. What a heck of a bounce back for him. Man, talk about just pit strategy right there. Ross Tatum
was closer to being able to make it the whole run so he could run a little harder and was able to pass me and pull ahead.
I thought maybe I wasn't sure. I know Seth went in maybe 4 laps earlier than us, so I didn't.
Off, I know the guys behind you were saving fuel, clutching it and whatnot. Tell us how your strategy was and how close was you there at the end?
Yeah, I was pretty close there at the end, but once Seth got by me on the first run, I decided I better just go in fuel saving mode and make it a one-stopper because I was tight already. So as soon as he passed me, I backed off of it, saved probably 3 laps of fuel on that first run, got to lap 46, 7, somewhere in there, pitted, and second run only had to save a couple laps, or like 1 lap, so I
J.D. Daniels there in 10th. Cam Patterson, he ultimately got up 11 spots and finished it in 11th. Dusty Martin there in the 12th place. Look to the rest here. Man, at 13th, we got old Steve Gerber. Bradley Murphy up there in 14th. Jamie The Rock, 15th. Wayne Chapman finishing 16th. Gabriel Laurens there in 17th. Frank Bell in 18th. Damian Pacheco there in 19th. Joshua Gillian 20th. 21st, Caleb Smith. 22nd, Joshua Altus got caught up in a wreck early. 23rd, there's Zachary Fowley. 24th, Joe Spinelli. 25th, Kenyon Jackson. And 26th, Steve Ritter. So, Austin, man, a good, clean race here tonight. Fuel strategy came into play, though, but all in all, good one.
Yeah, all in all, good racing. Thanks for having me back, and everybody have a good night.
Oh, man, I tell you what, like you just said right there, hope everybody enjoyed it. For myself and Old One, have a good night.